Sua. Welcome to the end of week 9. Whoa! So this is our last week with our host families. Just like I said last week, it's pretty sad, but also kind of exciting. And we got our site placements this week, and I'm feeling a little more on the excited side, to be honest. But I'm gonna get to that at the end. It'll be a big reveal. So this week we had a few kind of big things going on. A lot of the week was language class. Now that practicum's over, there's really not that much more to do except to do hours and hours of language, which, you know, sucks. It doesn't suck, but it's difficult at this point in PST because I just feel like we're so full of language and it's hard to absorb anymore. And then doing it for 8 hours is just like, it's very monotonous. But you know, it is what it is. If anything, I was able to get a lot of words written down, and hopefully over the course of the next few months on site, I will be able to absorb and retain some of the things that I learned in class. On Saturday, we had a big host family appreciation event, which was awesome. We got to sing the national anthem of Cambodia as volunteers, and then we got to hear from a couple speakers, basically showing the appreciation for what volunteers have done in the community, and then also the volunteers getting to show appreciation for the host families for taking care of us and treating us like their own kids for the last 8 weeks. It was a really beautiful ceremony. We got to eat some dinner together, and then we all got to dance, which was a lot of fun. Yeah. Personally wish we had a little more time in the Peace Corps to do kind of organized social things like this, because it was great to just not have to be people, or like, you know, workers for a little bit, and like get to be people, you know, and just hang out and talk and dance with friends and our host families, of course. Yeah. So the next thing I want to talk about is I got to go to Phnom Penh on Thursday because I got placed in the primary schools, which wasn't my first choice. I definitely wanted to be in secondary school, but I'm guessing that they saw something in me that says I would be a good fit for primary. And the more I think about it, you know, I think primary, I could probably make it really fun. So I am looking forward to it. And I got extra stoked when we did this conference on Thursday. So the primary school teachers got to go to Phnom Penh and meet with a few of the counterparts that they're going to be teaching with us. So I've met 3 of my counterparts. They are all in their 20s. They're really cool people. And yeah. Could see myself probably being people I hang out with outside of school, which is also exciting because I definitely worried about how am I going to make friends in my community. But I don't think that's going to be a problem now after meeting some of these people. So we did basically, the way they phrased it was like the conference is for the primary school teachers. So it's not for us Peace Corps people, because we learned a lot of the stuff that they're learning in the conference, which is like how to lesson plan, how to incorporate games, and like basically how to teach English, because the primary schools in Cambodia, this is the 2nd year they've been teaching English. So it's a very new program, and it kind of gets me more excited to be a part of the primary because I get to be a part of this like foundational journey for the whole country, which is really cool when you look at it from that perspective. So we kind of got some review on the lesson planning stuff. We did a mock lesson, me and my counterparts, and then we presented it to the class. And yeah, kind of just got to acquire some good tools and ideas for what we're going to be doing the next couple years of service. So, you know, I got really excited about it. What else to say on that? yeah, it was nice for having a break from the language because we didn't have to do language that day. You know, and then we got a lunch buffet. I got to go on a little walk with my counterparts to the river. So it was exciting. And then I feel like a lot of us were stoked coming back from the trip. I think it was really cool getting to meet the counterparts first, because the secondary school teachers are going to have to choose their own counterparts when they get to site. For primary, because there's so few English teachers in the primary school, they were picked for us. So that kind of takes a little bit of the pressure off, which I kind of enjoy too. And like I said, I have really cool counterparts. And I feel like a lot of us felt that way. We were all kind of nervous going into it. Who are they going to be? Like, where are we going to get along? That kind of stuff. But they're great people. I haven't heard any complaints so far. Yeah. So this takes us to our Alice Villa Day, our hub day. A couple of fun things that happened that day. We went over fire safety in the home. So learning about our smoke detectors and our fire extinguishers, and this included learning how to use a fire extinguisher, which I've never done before. I was pretty excited to do. And then after that, we learned about finding a tutor at your site. So this week we did the LPI, and the LPI is the language proficiency test, language proficiency something interview. So if you don't pass, quote unquote, the LPI, you're required to find a tutor at site within the first 3 weeks so that you can continue to build up your Khmer language skills and, you know, become more fluent so you can do the work you need to do in the community. For the rest of us, we are strongly encouraged to find a tutor to do the same, to build our language skills so that we can do what we need to do in the community. But you have more time if you pass the LPI. You have about 2 months to find somebody. And once you find somebody, they'll go do a training at the end of February in Phnom Penh with one of our instructors named Wani. And then they will come back and they will help us train in Khmer. So that's kind of exciting. Basically, it sounds like it can be anybody in the community, maybe somebody who works in the school or in stores. They said even it doesn't have to be someone who knows English or knows how to teach English, because they'll basically train them and kind of help them to help you. The one thing they did say is not to have somebody in the house, like in your host family, be your tutor, just because they're your family and you should be practicing Khmer with them anyways. And yeah. Peace Corps reimburses for a tutor too, even if you don't need it, which I think is really cool. So yeah, that's exciting. It's definitely something I'm pretty sure all of us are going to try to do. At least the majority of the cohort is going to try and get a tutor. So that brings me to the final big news. So dun, 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 dun. My site is in Posat. Posat is a province that borders Thailand and Lake Tonle. It has Battambang on the north, and I forget the province on the south. I'm still learning all the provinces, but I know I'm going to Posat. And I'm stoked I'm going to Posat because Posat has lots of mountains and rivers. So I'm going to be doing a lot of long Phnom, if you know what I'm saying. If you don't know what I'm saying, that means hiking mountains. Yeah, so I'm very excited about that opportunity. I have another volunteer in my community, which is also very exciting. He's somebody that I get along with pretty well. He's going to be teaching in the high school at the community, and I'm going to be teaching in the primary school. And having multiple volunteers at the same site is definitely not the norm. I think there's 2 other cases of that happening throughout the country. But I feel really good about it. I think it's going to be cool. It's just going to, I think, help having somebody from your own culture that you can talk to. as we integrate and move into this totally foreign land and become a part of it. At the same time, like I said, I've got these really cool teachers that I'll be able to spend time with, and we can all maybe have a game. That's what I'm projecting. That sounds ridiculous. I might cut that out. So I'm feeling really good about it. Definitely feeling very excited to go to site. Ready to start doing the thing. We also learned about what the first couple weeks at site's supposed to look like. So even in the primary school, we know our counterparts, but we're supposed to observe for 2 weeks before we do any teaching. So we'll start teaching January 2nd, and then we should be spending a few hours in the school, observing classes and getting to know the community. They think they want us to do some kind of introductory speech with the whole school, saying like who you are and what you're doing here and all of that good stuff. So yeah, that's exciting. My room is pretty much mostly packed. This will be the last time I do a video in this specific bedroom, so it's the end of an era already. It feels like it's been a year, and it's only been 2 months. I guess here's to next time. Next time I talk to you, I'll be at site, which is crazy. This week we're going to Phnom Penh. I'll be leaving tomorrow, and I'll be at site on Friday after a long 5.5-hour drive. So look forward to it. Thanks for watching, and Akun. See you next time.